Right now,
yeah, we can find some like shitty chairs that are better than these.
There's a college challenge. Let's just go get in the dumpster.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can take my gaming chair.
No, it's okay, Jack. I really like this chair. It feels good in my wallet, ass.
We'll pull your fucking giant wallet out of your ass.
No way, dude. Just have more money in your bank account.
One way left.
Yeah.
How's my beard look?
Did you
Not as
oil
good
it?
as yours. Yeah, the day before yesterday. Every 3 days, up to 3 days is the rule
For what?
for the beard oil.
Oh, yeah, no, it is. Gavin, you see that ideal air knob switch there? Can you click it all the way to the left? Just click it.
Oh.
Yeah, the top, just go all the way to the left. And I don't know, and put it in the middle.
Talk to
You
the mic
you move
there.
the knob, so I don't know what to... Yeah, just turn it down. You can hear it over the speaker. Got that for a little air scrubbage. All right, well, welcome, guys. We got the Core Hydro reunion episode that has been so desperately asked for. We got Gavin Seaders in the house, Kelly Caudell, who have both been on the podcast before.
Good day.
First and second episode with guests. If you guys don't know who they are, go back and watch it. I'm not going to explain it. What's going on, guys? How you doing? Thanks for showing up here.
Yeah, good to be back.
Yeah, you've been on quite the adventure for the past, since you last been on. How's that? You want to explain a little bit what you've had going on?
Sure. Yeah. Over the last 6 months, I've been working in New York, building a hash lab with Happy Cabbage, and it's been quite the adventure. Been away far too long, but it's good to be back home.
It's good to see you. Yeah.
And so New York is definitely a lot different. It's living out of Airbnbs for the last 6 months and building a business from nothing in a completely emerging market. It was really intense. It was kind of like the rec scene in Oregon when it first came online. It was just all the money and, all the opportunity, but it kind of reminded me of the hemp business when we were just absolutely crushing, and you just commit everything to what you're doing, so much so that you forget to do everything else in a way.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to go there for 2 weeks, and I ended up being there for 6 months. I was home 10 days through that period here in Oregon, and
You were gone forever.
Yeah, you were gone for a minute.
It was
sucked.
like, I don't even think you came back. It was like when you came back, I heard from you for like 5 minutes, but you're so busy.
I was working the whole
running,
time. I was
pacing.
building a lab here at the same time. So, I managed to build the lab here in Oregon simultaneously and operate it through my friends and family, basically.
Don't smoke.
So, I came back for 10 days, but
Good
when I was
boy.
here, I was just working the whole time. And so, I'm just glad to be back, and I'm staying home at this point. So, being here, it just makes me really appreciate what I have here.
Yeah.
in general.
We're glad you're back, Gavin.
Well,
You look
come back
amazing.
No, you look good, dude. Yeah, I'm glad to have one of my friends back. It always feels good. I'm glad you got to experience the New York scene. Obviously you were in a different area than I lived and did a whole different thing than I did when I lived over there, but you still kind of got a taste for the culture a little bit, I'm sure. But yeah, I'm glad to see you're back. What have you been up to, dog? For since the last episode?
Oh, my life is the same. I leave with the girls, and then I hang out with you
Yeah, a lot.
daily, and then I talk to this guy on the phone all the time. So it's pretty much the normal scene around here. Parenting is the big one-on-one, and it's easy. So if you guys ever want to have kids, just pop them out. Just do it.
I can't tell if that's like good sarcasm.
Just go ahead and just have
But
it.
you are a great dad
have
to
a
your
few.
kids, though, so I don't know. Maybe not.
Well, you, Jack, what have you been up to lately? It's the normal. You look good yourself. Your beard's long and furry and soft.
Oiled,
So
dude. I
what
oiled
are
it last night, dude. Yeah, I guess same shit. Doing a podcast still.
Yeah.
Working.
You weather chasing? Or you doing some weather chasing?
Yeah, actually, if you guys haven't watched, I have a storm chase video out in playlist. Kelly actually I wrote it in the description, but I doubt anyone reads that. But Kelly actually shot a good portion of that towards the end of
Right.
it, and so yeah, you were there for that, dude. What'd you think about that whole experience?
Oh, it's like every experience I have with you. You know, it's pretty much entertaining, to put it nicely, and full of laughs. So gotta love it. Gotta love it.
It was
Had a great
pretty
time.
cool.
Had a great time. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no, for sure, dude. Anytime. Yeah, it was awesome. Like, we're supposed to see some awesome weather. We didn't really see shit, but saw some cool looking cloud structures and a little bit of hail for about 2 seconds.
Yeah. Oregon weather.
Yeah, like what was it? Like yesterday or the day before, I live streamed. There was like 2 hailstorms that came over Corvallis that were way bigger than what we saw for that huge event. So it's like that's pretty funny. But yeah, had a good time doing that with you.
Did you see the tornado warning?
Yeah, there wasn't. They were saying there was threats for tornadoes, but they never like issued any like severe thunderstorms or whatever like for the area. Which, yeah, I don't know. We saw a wall cloud. We did see like picture perfect wall cloud. It just didn't produce anything. There just wasn't enough power behind
Allegedly.
it. Yeah.
I'm taking Jack's word for that.
No, you guys can go back and look at the video. I'm telling you.
We'll see in the comments like who thinks Jack is right. Is it a wall cloud? Do your research.
All right. Yeah. We can do it. Like.
Meteorologist Jack.
Yeah,
Hey, bro. I've read some books. All right. I've watched some videos.
I want to hear some.
I watched
opinion.
Twister twice.
I've watched both the movies multiple times. Yeah. No, it was pretty cool. Yeah. So I guess that's what's been going on with me. Is there any? I know you had some things you wanted to discuss. Both of you guys
Are
had
you
some
pointing
things.
at me?
Yeah, and it's like I said, we're not going to get into the whole Corvallis Hydro history. We've already explained that enough. So I think just talking about what's going on our minds is good for this episode. So would you what you want to bring up?
Are you looking at me, Jack?
Yeah, I am looking at
feel
you
like you're-
because I want to hear this.
Which part do you want to hear? Let's see. I don't have a lot. It's just a lot of life experiences. I've been on the podcast last time. Specifically, if you're a parent and your children decide to leave school without permission, it can be a concerning thing for parents, I find out.
What do you mean by that? Like,
Well, so what I mean is like, you go to work and you get a phone call from the school, and the school says, hey, by the way, your kid's missing.
That's alarming.
Thank you, Maddie, on that one. That's very key. Some of us are, some parents are not as fortunate as others where I can drop work and then go home and, find my child. It was a alarming time in my life for sure. But the disappointing facts are school did great. I give hands down to the school district. They seem like concerned members.
Yeah, they lost a kid.
like I would hope they'd be.
happen every day, hopefully.
How do you explain
Yeah.
that one later? Right? Yeah, I'd be worried too, right? Oh, on my watch, I lost a kid. I'd freak out personally. Yeah, 100%, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but in the county I live in, which I won't tell, it didn't seem like there was so much alarm when it comes to the police doing like a job. And this has been me and Jack and Gavin have laughed about this proactive, reactive conversation about how the police will operate. And it's kind of disappointing to see sometimes like not even the reactive part. Like not only proactively doing their job sometimes and need to be kind of directed, but they don't react sometimes to a situation. I quote this officer specifically. He goes, unless there's somebody put in danger and we know that there's a dangerous situation, we're not going to call out to what I suggested, per se, other counties or outside of the city, because I live at a corner of a county. So the time frame that supposedly my kid had walked out of school, like she could have walked out of town and been where nobody's looking.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like my complaint. I haven't made an official complaint. My kid was found by a good community person walking down the street.
That's crazy.
A few hours later, it was nice enough to like be like, "Hey, I have kids your age. What are you kids doing?
Yeah.
Get in my car, go back to school." So
Wow.
praise to this young lady. So good job for her. But so be wary. Your kids can run away. Nobody will do shit. So know where they're at.
Yeah, and it's like that's like one of those things. Like, how do you even like? Because you can file all the complaints you want to the chief or whoever's in charge there, but it's like, what can you do about it? Like.
Well, it was just weird to me because my mindset is proactive immediately. Like for me, I come into town like minutes later, and I I live by a lot of water sources. You know, you have to cross a river to leave town.
Yeah, that is true.
It's very basic. You know, if you look at geography, I immediately talked to somebody at the bridge. They didn't go over there, so that eliminates 2/3 of the directions they can even leave. It felt like by the time I got back to town, I knew more about the scenario where these kids could be than like the actual police officers. It was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It was quite the experience.
Does Hallie not have a cell phone?
Well, so in our school district,
We're not a little
you're
closer.
not allowed to carry a cell phone. Grade school. We're talking about grade schoolers here.
I know, but parents like to track their kids.
Well, you know, yeah, some kids.
I had one in the 2nd grade.
I had a little Nokia phone.
I did too, a little brick phone.
Well, brick phone in 2nd grade.
Yeah.
I was in.
Not you. I heard you.
Oh.
No,
I'm with
I
Jack
was
now.
like probably it was like right when I got into middle school. It's like 5th, 6th grade, but it was like those shitty prepaid Nokia. Like it was like when Singular was still a brand. It was a Singular phone. I don't know if you guys. It was like before AT&T bought them out.
I guess I'm not that paranoid where I had to feel. I mean, my kid has a cell phone, obviously, right? But if I send my kid with a cell phone to school, she's not schooling.
But-
Is the situation.
Well, I mean, phones weren't as cool back then. I had Snake if I was lucky on my phone. It was not a thing that you're just like procrastinating with. It was meant for your parents, and
Well, there was
who
a-
else do you call? Like
was there a GPS tracker on your Snake?
no, it was
Okay,
It was a
that's- okay.
ghetto
You're talking about
phone,
the-
but
yeah,
like this is just I
Just
started out with a
curious.
pager. My parents always gave me
I
some
had
way
a
of
pager,
contacting
but
for
that was
whatever
like the
reason.
90s.
But like you mentioned something earlier before we got the podcast going. Where you're like you would think if you send your kid to school that they're going to be at one place that you know until they get off the bus is they're at school. You don't think that they're running down to the fucking general store in the middle of town or wherever, you know, like, so in a sense you could argue like you shouldn't need to give them a phone because if you send them to a public institution, they should know where your freaking kid is.
Especially at that age level is like, that's what they
A
they
10-year-old,
claim.
yeah.
you
It's
know,
like,
it's grade school. Like they're supposed to be, I don't know, not necessarily gates and locks, but I don't know, gates and locks or supervision or alarms or
I tell you what, dude, we tried
armed
sneaking
vets.
out.
The fact that
I mean,
3
I'm
girls,
open to-
it wasn't just one, it was 3 that left. That's one kid sneaking off out. I ran away when I was in the 2nd grade. I was a crazy little like kid that would like dodge out and be like, I'm going to Hagen's, and I'd go to the next door and go like steal all the samples and shit. You know,
That's
like I was.
crazy. See, I didn't run away in grade school. I didn't run away. I had a conversation with somebody about the other day. I started leaving school, I think, in probably high school. Jack, what about you? When did you start dipping out of school?
Oh man,
Gavin did it as like a fucking
I was actually
midget, apparently.
I was small. I could sneak away. Dude.
2nd grade, dude.
I was
Shit,
like
I
too
barely knew how to ride a
scared
scooter.
to do that until like I moved out here, you know. So I moved out here junior year, and then it was like senior year or end of junior years when Shelby and I started dating, and then that's when we were like, oh, let's skip fucking 2nd period. Like, you know what we would do is we had film class, and so in film class to go part of your projects is you could sign out a camera and you were supposed to like make like a mini clip or something of the week.
Do your
And
class, right?
Yeah, and so they're like, here, take this camera gear. You guys go around the school campus, record shit, make a video, blah, blah, blah. So Shelby and I were like, we're going to go make a video. And really what we would do is during the stretch, because the class periods was an hour and a half long. It was like 5 periods in a day, if I remember right. And so that whole, like most of that hour, we would just leave and go to my house, and we got away with it a few times, and then we got caught one day, and Dunham was pissed, dude. He was with the principal, and he's just like, we both got in trouble and all
You're not
that.
doing your
And I was like,
class
that's why I
stuff.
don't do that shit. You know, I never did that until I met Shelby. She was a bad influence on me.
Oh, throw her under the bus. That's great.
No, like, yeah, I was always too scared to sneak out because my mom would have fucking whipped my ass if you would have believed that shit, dude. Like,
No, I believe it.
Yeah. But, you know, it's a lot of kids do it, though. I know plenty that have just got off the bus and then just walked home. I know a ton of kids
Don't
that have done
even-
that
don't
shit.
enter the
They don't
building.
even go in the building. They just get off the bus and walk home.
Yeah, peace out.
Bye. Fucking. What about you, Gavin?
2nd grade.
It was
Like
in
any other
grade
times,
school.
though, like in high school, like.
Oh, dude. Oh, well, I mean, so middle school, I lived across the street from my school, so our recess area was literally adjacent to my house, and so I would just like walk across the street into my garage, go get stuff and
Snacks
recess,
and
just
snacks.
I would just
Change
like,
my pants.
I would just hang out there for like my whole recess basically, and then go back to school.
Well, I would too. I mean, yeah, kudos. I'm jealous.
It was pretty sweet. And then as far as high school, I pretty much went. Well, actually, they put me in alternative school in middle school, so I got kicked out of that school. And I went to the alternative school, Harding Middle School at the time, which is in Corvallis. And there was 3 other students in my class. It was like everybody was on probation for stealing cars and shit. Like, I mean, they all had ankle bracelets.
And
Gavin
grew up hard, dude.
This is 7th and 8th graders, and I'm just this pyro kid. I'm like a nerdy, or not nerdy, but like redneck, I guess. I got in trouble for like catching girls' hair on fire in the hallway. I was blowing flames out of my mouth in the hallway. I was trying to impress them, and I was like, I bled a bunch of butane.
So you
in my
lit
mouth.
their hair on
What
fire?
That was the problem.
Wait, it's like what flavor
that's
autism do you
Write this down,
have?
guys.
I was in the hallway, and I literally, like, at the time, I was blowing flames out of my mouth, and apparently they got too close, and they
Yeah, it's their fault. It's their fault, right.
Write it down.
yeah.
Crowded hallway, blowing fire.
So Gavin,
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? What's your
Alternative-
phone number? I caught your hair on fire.
Alternative school happened, and dude, that place, it was. You had to be there for the hours that
You
they
write
had.
down Gavin writes.
But-
Gavin catches people's hair on fire. No, didn't.
I can't believe there was no actual, like, I didn't really get in trouble for it. They just asked me at that
The
point to
juvenile
go.
department doesn't
They were
send
like,
you the
we don't
letter."
want to expel you, but we would like to offer you to go to this school. And I was like, sure, whatever, that sounds good. And that's when I found out everybody was like an actual criminal. And I was like, oh, I'm in like jail school right now. And it actually was an awesome school, though. I mean, it was small class sizes. The teachers were like, I had 2 teachers, and they were way better at working with kids with just like acting out, or just having a different life circumstance than the rest of the kids in their schools. Like, it was really catered to our needs, which was awesome because that's what I needed.
that is good.
I was definitely special needs. I was catching people's hairs on fire. I was starting petitions. I was like just a menace to that school. No joke. I was terrible.
Down at
Another
the courthouse.
fucking petition. Get this fucker out of here.
What is the matter with this kid?
No, it was bad. I got
get
a
off the
teacher
property.
fired
Yeah.
because I got the whole school to write up. It was the PE teacher that was like she was a fill-in, and she told me one day to get off my phone, and I'm like, oh no, you didn't.
Oh my
And
God.
I literally, it was messed up. I just I was a very rebellious child.
Did you write a petition to get him fired?
Yeah, and I got like 300 and something signatures. And I gave it to the principal, and I was like, and she quit her job. The poor lady quit her job.
Poor lady.
Wow,
I got her fired.
Wow, dude. That
Well,
is-
no, I mean, I meant like what I did got her to quit her job because she was there for a long time, and then after that, she was just like,
she's like, fuck
It's
these
her
kids, dude.
resignation.
Oh my gosh.
Hell, it ain't.
it's not something I'm
Get
proud
the
of.
fuck off me, you tiny dog.
He loves you, Kelly.
No, I know that.
There
It
any-
smells like alpha male down there. About, just by my
Dragging
Laying
his-
under you.
dragging his nuts across your leg.
That's
So, yeah,
that's the way
anyways.
I'm dragging my nuts on his head.
Oh my gosh.
Damn bulldogs.
Damn, dude, that's crazy. You got a PE teacher fired because she told you to put your phone away.
I was just a shit, dude. I like anytime somebody tried to like put authority on me, I just saw it as like, oh, you want to go? Like,
You want to
I'm
go?
wild. Like right now, I can't.
You want to
stop.
fuck
I mean,
with my rights?
I don't know. I would not want to meet myself as a child, as an adult. I would be like,
Teenagers
"You're
are scary."
You're a piece of shit. I would tell them, just, dude, you are fucked. You need to figure your shit out quick, otherwise you're gonna fuck your life up.
I'm gonna hold you down. I'm gonna let your
Luckily,
hair
I
on fire.
did. I did figure things out quite a lot, but at the time, I was, like, I was a raging maniac in middle school. Holy crap! I figured it out. I like had therapy through that period of time.
Damn.
And, like, came to some conclusions through that, and like after high school, I then went. Really, it was, when I got some structure in my life, I was kind of rebelling for my parents. And then when I started dating Zoe and I moved in with her mom told me that if I was going to stay there, I had to have a job and I had to go to school. And those were 2 things that I was like,
What?
What? No
Do
way. She was
stuff?
like, if you want to be here, you have to have that kind of structure.
Yeah, that's
And
fair.
ever since that point in
You
my
wanna
life,
agree?
dude, I stopped like rebelling. I like conformed in a way that I was
That's
just like directed to work and to like stop being so insane and trying to like, I guess, be more responsible at that time in my life. You know, it just was a pivot that I took. I started working jobs. I stopped dressing all crazy. I stopped.
Did she
burning
used to wear
people and, like-
suits? Didn't she used to go around wearing suits and shit?
I
That's
wore-
dressing crazy.
I was really into corduroy.
Have you
And
seen
Yeah,
pictures?
I used to
yeah,
wear.
I wish I had
I-
some pictures of him. He had like the long emo black hair.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
Like, he was like
Jinko jean.
No, yeah, so I was corduroy, man. I had like bright colored corduroys. I had a bright pink, like Barbie pink corduroy jacket, and bright, like all colors of bright colored corduroy.
I remember
pants.
seeing some
And
of
I
those
was
pictures.
like, I was no. It didn't look good.
See,
it was
I'm
just like
unprepared.
weird. It was just
I
like
am so
I
unprepared
had
for this
mismatching
meeting.
corduroy shit, and I had a fedora hat, and it had paint all over it, and it had been through all the parties. Like it was.
That
I'm
became
It
a-
surprised
said so
people
much. Like if
invited
you were
you
a
to
cop.
This is Corvallis, dude. Anybody's welcome.
I was
This is
like
love
as hippie
all.
as it gets. At one point, you would have thought I was like freaking just all on hallucinogens the whole time.
so
That's what we think now, Gavin. What are you talking about, my guy?
So at one point, I guess, like,
darn it.
I guess it kind of goes into that. I feel like is when did you meet Kelly? Then, like, was it like years after all that shit happened, or
He was talking about being a crazy ass, so it moves forward in time like this. Now he's a crazy ass with a driver's license, and he's working for the tree company. And he's like, I go out and I fucking work at the timber company, and they yell at me for driving my truck off the road and fucking like a maniac all over the place. I'm staring to this kid, and I'm like, God damn, this guy's fucking so funny. I gotta hang out with this kid. And he keeps coming around. Oh, smoke some weed, and he's like, hell yeah, let's smoke some weed. We have that same that marijuana fucking passion, and then the outdoors passion kicked in. We're like, you want to smoke weed outdoors? And drive like crazy fucks.
how long ago? Like, what year do you think that was?
Oh, dude, I'm stoned, dude. What year's it now?
2025.
I
Just
think
joking.
I was like 18 or 19. So
Because I met you guys in like 2015, and you know you guys were working at the grow shop for a couple years at that point.
Oh my god, that's so long ago.
I
I
know.
know you're old too.
is that like 12 years ago now?
That's 10
10
years ago, homeboy, dude.
It's like a decade.
10
Good
years.
thing you're not a mathematician.
Yeah, I'm bad at math.
No,
So
he's
mine.
good
He's
at
got money.
Math.
No, he's good at money. Count. He's good at money math.
Like a lot of other people I know, you count their money, but
I miss you 2 cents, Jack. What the fuck? Did you fuck up the till? Yeah. So yeah, it was like had to have been over 10 years ago then.
That's crazy.
oh, it's super
time
crazy.
flies.
I'm just insanity now. It's been so long ago now, practically, but it flew by. We're all aging.
The
Yeah,
older you
experience.
get, like the quicker time goes, you know?
Oh, I can verify that. The last couple of months, I
Yeah.
don't know where they went. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm staring at my kids like, I'm like, it's all summertime. You ready to go camping? Like, what happened in March?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Was Christmas just like a while ago?
Yeah.
Like, that's so old school now. It's outdated.
No, for
It's
real.
almost
Like,
26. I
Yeah.
think it's right around the corner now.
I remember when freaking River was like a baby. She was like 2 or whatever. Like when I first met you, like she like was crawling around and not even making words yet. And now she's like 12 or whatever. It's just
I know.
like,
Roasting adults on the constant now.
yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck is this, dude?
Out
It's so crazy.
artsy fartsy, all of us, bro. It's
That's
crazy.
what makes me feel the oldest is watching all my friends' kids grow up.
Oh, that'll get you.
Oh, bro. I went to New York last August and saw some of my friends. And, you know, when I left there, they had, like, some of them had, like, just had babies, like 1-year-olds. And I went and flew back there, and I see them, and they're, like, teenagers. I'm like, oh,
Riding
wait,
dirt bikes,
what? You're-
right?
I'm like, you're who? And I'm like, what is this? Like, damn, that's such a reality check. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, so
Where's your baby, Jack?
in outer
Baby
space.
Jack.
It's in his belly, look.
Yeah, I got a beard. All right. Okay. So I guess pivoting off of that, I know you had some things you wanted to mention also during this episode.
Wait, I want to go back to where's your baby?
Yeah.
Yeah, you dodged that like on the quick. And, I want to catch that one on the air.
You know, just show me.
You guys working on that?
No, we don't
Practice?
want one. Dog, we like our freedom. You see this podcast? You see this podcast? You see that rig in the driveway? That shit costs money. If I had a baby, I wouldn't have any of that shit right now. So I want to get the shit and, you know, just live my life a little before I decide to have a baby, you know?
I mean, flying with a baby is kind of crabby.
Oh, dude, I've been on
Flying
so many
anywhere
flights, so
with-
I'm like, I would nenever be that motherfucker. I would feed my kid melatonin. I'd Cosby my kid before we get on the plane, dude. Allegedly. No, dude, it's just not on my radar.
I don't know. Some people, it's like a big deal, you know. So you know,
I know.
it's good to know. It's good to know where we're at.
I know it's like a big deal to some people.
I'm stalking.
and, like, yeah, I'm good on that. I don't need to hit that anymore.
I was talking about the babies.
I think a lot of people also just wait to have kids till later in life a lot of the time.
Yeah, like
right now is just because, you know, we're all kind of like battling the decision if it's right or not, you know, and it's been like the way people have babies is kind of changing, I would say, over time, just because economically, I would say we're all trying not to just bring kids into this world that we can't take care of. And in the 50s, a lot more people were, I would say, thriving and putting...
The country is a lot healthier.
It was a lot healthier.
Yeah,
and so, like,
economically.
making the decision to have a kid back in the day was a much easier decision because it was about, like, creating opportunity and growing the economy and, like, putting them into a world that has opportunity. Nowadays, we're balancing that with, can I even support myself?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
like, how am I mean, granted, that can't really stop you, but at the same time, a lot of people, I would say that, you know, contemplate the value of having a kid and like what that means as being even just mature. You know, I definitely am so glad I didn't have a kid when I was in my 20s.
Dude, I know
Because
so
I
many
was a
people,
fucking
bro.
idiot, and I'm still an idiot, but I'm trying to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And as that happens, I'm thinking, okay, as I get more mature, thank God I didn't have a kid when I was 18. Because,
Right.
dude, my poor
Oh my
child
God.
would have gone through that whole fucking, like, rah, I'm 20, I'm going to rage. Like,
Yeah.
holy crap, I would have been such a terrible father then. But now that I'm older and, like, I'm seeing more of my friends with kids and I'm seeing, like, what that impacts their lives like and, like, the benefits of it compared to, like, what they, I guess, have to sacrifice in order to do that. It's I don't know. For me personally, I'm way more into having a kid now than I was when I was in my 20s because, first of all, I don't feel like I was mature enough back then, and I wasn't wanting that back then.
Yeah.
Now, like, that I've been with all these kids around my friends, I'm, like, starting to love kids. Back then, I was kind of terrified of them, to be honest,
Kids
because I
still
thought
freak me
that
out.
that meant,
They got
like,
germs.
I would have to stop
Nasty
living.
fuckers.
Right, but it also means that, like, you're not going to have as much money. You're going to not be able to go out on the weekends. You can't go on vacations and on flights. That's a kind of a big
I
sacrifice.
mean, you can
if
still
you're in your
do all
20s.
those things, but you gotta have a kid with you.
It's
Yeah.
a lot
Good
less
interjection
enticing.
time.
Yeah.
Let's go back. He says at 18, if I would have had a kid, I would have been a terrible parent because I would have been a crazy motherfucker and made bad decisions. You don't know that. Nobody does. Now check this out. You pop out a kid at 18, all of a sudden you're like, wow, my brain goes click.
Maybe I would have been more
And you go,
responsible all the way
holy
back
crap,
then.
I
Yeah.
need to change all of this in my life. And now I'm a good parent and I'm taking care of myself and I excelled to where I'm a millionaire because this kid propelled me into sobriety and drive or responsibility or whatever you want to call that. And so it only takes one person without a kid to go back and be like, I don't know, maybe I made a right decision, but you don't know. Because if
Yeah,
you do, it's
that's a
like,
good point.
you know, you're a great dog owner for the most part. And so, like, if you would have popped out like a kid at the age of 18, I actually believe that you would have stepped up, even through your craziest of times.
I absolutely
and
would
became
not have lived the same
super,
life
a
without
super
a kid.
adult.
Absolutely,
You know?
and I would have
You know what I'm
changed.
saying?
Yeah, absolutely, I would have
Yeah,
made
yeah.
the
No, I
changes
agree,
if that
yeah.
happened. But I think the reason that it didn't happen is because I wasn't prepared to like commit that yet.
Yeah, there's like a choice.
It was a choice,
Yeah.
like because it wasn't like we were trying to have kids at that
Right,
age.
right.
You know, Zoe's always been on birth control. It was a pretty easy thing to just not have a kid over as long as we've been together. So like, until I was really like wanting it, though, I feel like it was just a decision that I
It's
wasn't
a hard
like,
decision,
quite prepared
and-
to make for a long time. And I'm just saying, like, I'm as I get older, my like objectives is changing a lot.
Do you guys think that like legacy has anything to do with like having kids? Like,
Want to
Carry on a last name
yeah,
nowadays,
and
2025.
No, I don't
Carry on a
whatever
last
tradition.
The last Caudell, the last Seaders.
I got 1,000 siblings.
No, that
dude.
doesn't.
I
You
do
know,
that for you.
leaving something, leaving a part of yourself behind. None of that really matters to you.
I think talking to my wife, she would say yes, and she'd make me realize that, like maybe carrying on that last name or
Yeah.
that. But it's not the genetics, right? Like we're not trying to like keep
No.
a tribe alive or anything like that. It's just more like what I understand your question is like carrying on a last name, like the son type deal.
Yeah, I guess kind of, or maybe family tradition, or stories, memory, maybe like the certain way that you fish, or
Not in
something
Oregon.
like that.
Not anybody I talk to. Now, if you were to go and we were to run over to the Amish community, maybe
Yeah.
in the Middle East, I bet this conversation would be completely different, right?
Yeah.
But people I know and around here in like the Pacific Northwest way,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably not a conversation most of us are having.
Yeah.
Figured I'd ask.
I think we're all drinking ales and having oops.
My grandpa's like that. He's about legacy.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Well,
but how old's your grandpa too?
He's like 80.
Yeah.
He's
so born
81.
in 47,
Yeah.
46.
45,
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah.
Cool.
He's
That's cool.
He's an
Legend.
old guy.
That's
a lot of
He's
it's-
cool as fuck though.
Yeah.
Oh, they all are.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
Great stories.
He's
in
probably
that age.
depressed about the world today.
Oh.
Like,
I don't know. He's just tired.
He's, just,
Yeah, he's all like, I don't have to worry about it.
he's
much
like, you
longer."
know what? I'm
He's just
out. You
tired.
guys fucking later, dude. Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, I don't care. Donald Trump is president.
I'll walk
That's
back into
fine."
the office sometimes. We'll come back to the shop for lunch or something, and he'll just be slumped in his office chair,
Sleeping.
Oh, he's-
looking
he's-
at like ACs and stuff. So funny.
Yeah.
He's just tired.
I know an older guy that's 10 years younger than that gentleman that likes to take sitting up naps quite often. It's like a skill from, I think, an old job.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
he
Right.
did a lot of different shifts. So it was like, when your sleep schedules are off
Security
and
guard
on.
or something.
Yeah, something along those lines. And then so you just magically built it.
Yep. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you just knew it was
They
normal.
could
so you
literally
knew the
fall
person.
asleep anywhere.
Yeah, then 20 minutes. They just need that 20-minute power nap. And they come
Yep.
back and they're like,
Yeah, I'm good.
kind of,
I was listening.
Kind of open an eye, I'd be like, so what's up?
What were we talking about?
That's quite the skill.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't have that skill.
Yeah, the whole legacy thing, like, I feel like for me, it's like, I like the idea, like, there's plenty of Sattlers in my family, so I'm not worried about that, but it's like, I do think, like, do I want, like, my genetics to linger around or whatever? It's like that, there is, like, a humbling feeling about that thought of, like, oh, like, my genetic legacy will live on, and, if I become something, like, there is a thought that crosses my mind about how that would be, like, that affects me to a degree more than the last name idea, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like if I were, like, not saying that that's why I would have a kid, but, like, that would be on my mind to a degree, but, other than that, yeah, I guess that was a long answer to that one question is no, I don't want kids.
Right
not
now,
now.
it's not on the radar.
Not right now.
Good for you. Good for you.
So
Good. Way to be responsible. I feel like we all had good responsible answers. That's the big
yeah,
one. So.
and like I also see like I'm not gonna call anyone out, but like I've seen people I grew up with. I see people younger than me that have like 4 kids with 4 different baby daddies, and they're on welfare, living off the government at their parents' house. Like I see that shit all the time, and I'm just like,
It's the way around here.
It's
dude.
like-
It's frustrating.
no, like here, New York, like it's everywhere, and I'm just like. Not saying that that's what would happen to me if I had a kid, but it's like another factor is I want to give that kid the best, because I know what I went through growing up, and, I would never want to fucking put a kid through that, and so it's like, I would want to make sure I can give him the best possible scenarial before I just start fucking popping kids out,
But you
know?
can. Look at you go.
I'm
I've known you 10 years.
trying.
Look at you go, bro.
I'm trying,
You're just
but
adulting from left to right. You're just getting old.
Yeah, I am getting old, but it's just like I still feel like I'm not like there yet, and so I want to make sure I'm fucking there 1,000%. And even then, still don't know.
Nobody's there
Yeah.
1,000%. So good luck.
Yeah.
Hit 80, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the government should come up with a new one. It should be like, for your first kid, you get a tax break, and then your second kid, you get a tax break.
Well, you kind of do,
And then
though, don't you?
On your
Like-
third kid, you get a fucking have to pay, and then on the fourth one, you have to pay, and then the fifth one, you have to pay. So you only get tax breaks for the first two.
Yeah.
So hopefully some of these people maybe just stop.
Yeah, like, hey, stop having 18 fucking kids, you
Right,
know, and
like,
like,
rank
yeah,
it
like
up.
some people like will have kids just to live off the government, you know.
Well, that's what
because
I'm implying here,
yeah,
allegedly.
that does happen, you know,
No,
without a doubt, and it's like, yeah,
10,
that's not
10
cool.
and 2 is 20. You know, like,
Yeah.
give it up.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
And so, whatever, you know.
Yeah,
It's different in every country.
it is, you know. It could be China where you're only limited to one. So
Oh, yeah, darn.
I mean, the problem with our theory is that we're going to eventually end up with like idiocracy. All the people that should be having kids are going to be too scared to have them because they can't support them, and all the people that are, I would say, not planning on like giving their kids a good future or opportunity, they're just milking the system, are going to be having 50 babies.
yeah,
And they're going to know what to do with themselves.
yeah.
They'll be all on a bidet.
You're just,
They
but
don't know how to
what I'm
wipe.
saying is over time, that's going to
The
lead
bidet
to
trip.
just making
Wow.
like.
Nailed it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Have you seen the movie Idiocracy?
No.
I have not.
You
Okay,
gotta watch
so-
it.
Is
It is exactly where we're going, and it has illustrated basically like what we're doing right now.
Step by
will
step.
get us there. Is all the people that are just not going to ever like educate themselves or like pass on good traits because they're bad parents are going to be the ones that like literally breed 80% of our population. So eventually we're going to dilute ourselves so much that we
Oh
will
my
literally
God.
just basically like
I'll be Dardars.
the movie illustrates it. I can't really.
No, that's a
describe it.
good
Just watch
point.
it. Anybody that knows what I'm talking about, it's gonna be like, you're right. You know, we have. What was the wrestler guy?
Hulk Hogan,
Terry Crews?
Randy Savage, John Cena.
The
Terry
Rock.
Crews in the movie?
Yeah,
I can't remember his name.
Mr. Something.
Maddie,
Yeah,
this is
look
what
it up.
Wait,
yeah.
Terry Crews. Is that the
Oh yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
I'm just
phone
saying.
Cena, the
yeah.
rookie?
Wrestler from Idiocracy.
Yeah, he becomes president, and
Oh,
so
my
it's
God,
like
it's already-
the first kind of celebrity president, and you know, we already did that. Yeah, this guy.
Come on, Joe.
Come
Oh, that's the
Macho,
guy
yeah.
in The Rookie, dude. That's the show he's in right now. Dude, that guy's yoked out.
Dude. Anyways, I'm
He
just
always
saying.
plays a weirdo.
He's really funny.
He was a
Have you watched The
perfect
Rookie?
president, though.
no,
Oh,
but every
that-
other
rally
movie he's in,
behind
he's
that.
such a weirdo.
He's a funny cop.
He
dude.
looks
It's
like
hilarious.
Andre 3000 in that one picture there.
That's Camacho.
I know, but it's, like for a second it looked like.
Oh my goodness, that's definitely Terry.
That's also-
He is hilarious. I love him.
That's
Dude. He is
his
a great
presidential
actor.
speech. AK-47.
I have to watch this again,
Oh
or
my
for the
God.
first time. I
It's
can't
such
decide.
a funny movie.
It gets
I-
more
I-
depressing as time goes on because I watched this, you know,
Long time
when
ago,
I was
right?
young. You know,
Yeah,
I
it's
was
been
you
out
know,
forever.
like 12 when I was watching this for the first time,
Yeah,
probably.
did it say what year it was?
2006, didn't it?
2006. I didn't catch it.
So yeah, I was
Oh, did you exit out? Yeah.
I was like 12, yeah.
That's the thing.
And
You exit out.
dude, this movie was funny back then, but it didn't make as much sense.
And
then
now it makes
as
all the
time
sense.
goes on, and you know, we made Trump our president. He's the "you're fired" guy on TV,
Yeah, from The
and
Apprentice.
it's Donald Trump.
Yeah.
You know, we're like, no way, Donald Trump's ever going to be our freaking president.
And now he is. Yeah.
And now he is, and the world is just a different place. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
there's
living
electronic cars and people are falling.
AI
is taking over. You know, like
yeah.
you don't even have to write emails anymore. You
Yeah.
don't have to make resumes. All you have to do to write a business plan is say, write me a business plan about making puppies, you know, stay small forever.
Sweaters for dogs.
And it'll be like,
Give it to somebody.
in 2 minutes later, you have a business plan that's insane. I made one about AI wrote me a business plan to take investment from the 1% to create an afterlife. Like I called it Afterlife, and it's basically in contingencies for after the planet Earth is destroyed. So if we're gonna basically like come up with plans to terraform other planets, get you at least spaceships to get there, building tunnels and like warehouse. It's basically an apocalypse-proof plan
Right.
for the 1%. Give us, you know, $1 billion of your $100 billion, and we'll build you a bunker and you'll be able to survive there for 100 years or whatever. But like,
Do we lock them out at
it's
the
an
end?
actual business plan. Like an AI crashed it. I was sitting in bed. I wrote 2 business plans in like
yeah,
an
I remember.
hour,
Yep.
and all I did was prompt it with like a couple paragraphs of detail, and dude, it came up with like a whole fucking business plan that had pictures and like illustrate. It was
No shit.
I was like, holy shit, AI is
quick.
It's
stupid.
wild.
This would have taken me at least days, if not weeks, to compile, and my formatting skills absolutely are dog shit. So like, to have something just be formatted and built that I could sell to somebody potentially, or even like take
It exceeds the Kelly email,
use
dude.
this and
Well, you don't have to fucking know how to write or spell or anything.
You can
know,
just have
you
ideas
kinda
and it'll
throw
crank 'em
some
out.
whatever, and it slaps it out for you.
you would actually have to be proficient in like, I mean, I'm capable of writing a business plan, but it would take me a lot of work. That literally took my idea and turned it into a business plan in a matter of minutes. And
Yeah.
I'm just critiquing it at that point, and I was like,
Yeah, proofread it.
wow,
Yeah.
I could take this to investors potentially,
Right.
or I could, just use it as an outline for my own shit. But either way, it makes people that would be unable, like, I would say maybe not motivated to do something because it takes so much work, to suddenly put creativity in like business plans or just even like art ideas or whatever, book concepts. Like, you can do so much more with AI in a way I would say that most people are afraid to use. I started using it and like, I'm abusing it. I'll just say that.
Well, they have it on
I
everything
never
Really
now.
stuck
touched it.
4
I never
fingers in
touched
it,
this
yeah.
shit. I was like scared to use it. I was like, it'll be hard. And then,
Yeah.
oh man, dude, I asked.
It's too
I asked-
user-friendly, yeah.
The other day, this is like, Zoe got really mad at me about this because I was sitting on the couch on a Saturday, and I told her,
Oh
I was
my
like,
God.
I asked AI, what should I do today? And
Oh my god.
just because I was like, I'm curious what it's going to
She's like,
say.
"Go drive off
It
a cliff."
surprises me. Dude, this freaking thing tells me, why don't you sit around and watch 90s movies and binge watch them and use some of your own product? I'm like, and I was already
Which
doing
one?
that. I was literally already sitting there watching
Wait,
some
it said
bullshit.
use some of your own product?
Yeah,
Like,
because I've asked it to write me like things for. It knows me.
it knows like
It
what
knows
you do.
that I-
Talking
what
about
do.
his lotions.
His
No.
lubriderms.
It meant it in a completely different way.
Oh my god.
But anyways, I just like,
Topical.
I've been using it for creative reasons. I've been using it for like, what are things I can do? What are tools I can use to listen more critically?
That's still
And
up
it came out
there.
with
It's
some
made
really
out of
awesome
AI.
shit.
That one with the burning microphone, that's an AI picture.
Yeah.
I asked OpenAI, I was trying to think of just like a thumbnail shot for like, when I'm doing live stuff. It's just like, make me a microphone on fire with the background of space. And it made that. And I was like, perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. So I made it the thing. If you zoom in on it and really look at the details, it's really kind of strange looking, but from a distance, it looks like a microphone. So it
AI
works.
always seems to fuck up the art. So
Well, have you been s-
I'm always telling it what I want, and it can't figure it out.
It
Like
doesn't.
at one point, I was like, it put scooters in this picture, and it was a business.
Well, you like
idea that I was
motorcycles, that's
trying to-
why.
Right, but I
It's
kept
confused.
saying, take the scooters out of the picture. And I said it like 50 different ways. And every iteration this stupid image came up, there was a scooter hidden somewhere in the freaking picture. I'm like, what the
Can you imagine
I was
Gavin
getting
pissed
angry.
at
I was
AI?
like, stop putting the fucking
Oh, yeah, I can see
I was
that.
like, seriously, it was pretty pathetic. I was
Melting
getting like,
down.
That's
was
the AI's
fuming.
humor. It's fucking.
it was obviously fucking with me.
Yeah.
I was talking shit to it too. And like, it'll,
He's just like my
I don't know.
10-year-old that
I'm-
runs away. Like earlier.
I don't need a lot for
She's yelling at
entertainment. That's what I
Alexa.
think it's getting at. I could probably have a conversation with this stupid thing and be somewhat entertained.
Yes,
People used
yes.
to do that. You remember early, probably in 2000s,
Yes,
when there was
I
like the
remember.
chat bots?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
could like talk to a thing and it would talk to you
Something
back.
would answer back.
I thought that was entertaining. I didn't spend that much time doing it, but it also wasn't smart.
What was
I
that
like
other
AI
one?
because it's smart and you can like learn shit from it. Those things you couldn't. I don't think.
Well,
they
here's
were,
the
like-
thing with AI is it's also learning from you, like how your dialogue is, like because it's trying to collect,
It's stealing.
like
all of
it's
your
trying to figure out
intellectual
how
property.
humans talk. So every conversation, whether you speak to it or write it out, it's also learning, like for its own database. So it's like
It seems like
I feel like it's collecting evidence.
we all
yeah.
learn 3 ways, right? So it seems to be doing good in like the writing, right? Everybody's good at writing, but it's failing in the optical in the art
Yeah.
land. It can't seem to figure out art.
Yeah.
The visual part, it's like, I don't know how to do anything. Like,
And AI videos are so easy to spot because of that. You know,
right?
like
The new Sasquatches and all that shit, the cryptid university
oh
stuff.
yeah, you
It's
see
like,
all these reels and people are like, look at this
all of this
cryptid. I'm like, if any
Sasquatch is like living in my backyard, I swear. This is after AI came out. It's
just like anyone who believes this shit is a dumbass. Like it's clearly AI. But like you see like all their like half these commercials on TV are all AI. Like there's one for I won't mention the company, but there's a heating company in the local area that has been running ads on HBO Max. And it's like all AI, and so there's like really it's really like an acid trip when you see this commercial, and it like shows these two like HVAC dudes driving around, and there's like this one scene where it shows them digging through a toolbox, and they're flinging wrenches out, like trying to look for something, and when they're flinging the tools out, the tools just turn into like little ripples. Like behind them, like it's just like they'll throw a wrench and it'll look like a wrench, but as it moves behind them, it like distorts and looks weird. So you can tell it's an AI commercial, and it's just like once you start paying more attention to it, it's like an acid trip. It's really
Dude, I
weird.
hate scrolling through Instagram now because
It's half
I swear to
AI.
God, half of it is AI. I mean, I saw this
Yeah.
stupid thing, this huge black dude riding an orca.
Yeah. Oh,
And
Yeah.
I'm
oh,
like,
the really
why
corny
is that
stuff.
on my feed in the first place? But then
Or you get the fake chicks, like the porn accounts. That's just AI too, like that.
Oh, I don't get
I was gonna say I don't get those.
Oh, dude, they're
Me
everywhere.
neither.
They hit, dude.
Yeah,
They
those
hit
two.
me up.
Jack's like, baby.
They hit me up.
Baby.
Sounds like you hit them up first.
No, dude, I swear to
I
God,
think you
learning
sat
from
on
you,
there too
yeah.
that's
long.
never happened to you. No, dude.
I
Yeah,
gotta
I
get this
know
by
you
back.
like-
He had a lot time.
He scrolled back to
You
it
It's,
a couple
uh,
times.
that's
Maybe
so
he was like,
funny.
gotta get another like 30 seconds.
He's
of
like,
staring.
his
hilarious,
retina
my
time
dude.
was 20 seconds. We gotta get him back.
Dude, I
here.
swear they are tracking all of them.
Oh yeah, they.
I mean,
100%.
sometimes
You're-
it's the shit
yeah.
that I was so like bothered by that I had to keep like, what is that? And then now it's all over my.
because they're
feed,
reading your face, your eyes.
I know,
your,
but it's like
yeah.
the shit that I don't want to see. Is like
Yeah. They
sometimes
turn
the
off that
stuff that I
traction,
stop to
dude, on
like.
everything.
My brain's trying to catch up with what the fuck I'm actually looking at, and then that changes my algorithm, and now they're showing
Now
me
it's
like
showing
the
you all
weirdest
that,
shit I
right.
ever saw, and I'm like, damn it, this is just
Like
not-
Twitter, dude. When I first got a Twitter account, and like before its algorithm figured me out, it was just fight videos, bro. It was just all like, and I don't like watching violence like that. I want to like learn something, and I'm like scrolling, and it's just street fights, people beating the shit out of each other. So you try to scroll
Oh, right.
faster to beat it.
Road rage.
But then
episode
it's like road rage
5090.
videos, and it's just death, like people getting ran over. Like
Can you reset your algorithm?
I think you just gotta make a
I
new
just,
account.
I just do like four wheelers that are as a live account all the time until it's just like all mudding four wheelers or whatever, and then hunting stuff to kind of reset.
Yeah.
mine.
You can
That's
just
what I
clear
do.
it out by just forcing it.
Well,
I don't know if there's an actual reset default.
it takes
but-
time, but what I do is if you find a video or picture or a post that you're just not interested in, is you click the link and you have to go and press not interested in this post, and you do that. Like say you're getting a bunch of shit in your feed just one random day, like which happens to me. Like I was getting my algorithm and it's just fucking weird shit. So I'm just like not interested, not interested, not interested, and then it like kind of straightens it out. Like
That
that's
sounds
what
like a lot of work.
it is. A lot
I
of
would
work,
like
but
to just push a button and be like,
yeah, it's just
I
you
don't
got to
need
go
any-
through
give
post
it
by
another
post and be
shot.
like, that's retarded. I want that gone. That's dumb. I don't want that. You know, like, yeah, it's weird.
well, I think I've polluted my Instagram. It is not good.
No, well, it's hard because it's easy to get buzzed and watch that stuff, right? And then so it starts going by that algorithm instead of like knowing and doing your due diligence of people that you know that are live accounts doing live shit, right? That you really actually enjoy, because we do get interested. We're humans and stuff that's
Dude, it's like
Death
off
videos and
whatever,
fucking
you know. It's
Mine
Tell-
is like
beheading
people
videos.
lip-syncing with elf ears. I don't know why the fuck that's on my shit.
Oh
but
yeah, I
it's-
started getting yeah.
Why do
stuff,
I
and
like?
just thought, you
I
know,
just I don't know. Like it just
yeah,
it's
weird shit
stupid.
out there.
know your stuff. I want to backtrack, Maddie. You didn't do your due diligence. Terry Crews didn't play in The Rookie. I want to say that it's actually a show called Brooklyn Nine-Nine. If you like Andy Samberg
Oh,
from
yeah.
SNL,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah.
that's
Yeah,
the
he's
one.
he's not the captain, he's the sergeant.
He's the I shot at the fucking thing. I'm
Yeah.
terrified. They can put me back on the street.
That's a good
character.
show.
That's
Yeah.
solid. In case you haven't seen, yeah, River
seen
got me
bits
on
of
that
it.
one.
I've watched a little
was
bit of that.
one.
It's
was a
good.
one,
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
There you go, bam.
Yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Checking it back.
Yeah. Shit. Well, Gavin, did you want to add? You know, like I said earlier, you had some things on your mind while we're at it. Do you have anything you want to add, or Kelly, or anything? Or?
Yeah, I want to add, it's still 2025, and I want to do work and business and make money with you gentlemen. You guys are always the best to work with. Gavin Seaders, Jack Sadler, Maddie, coming up. work. What's all we're going to be doing, right? Well, it sounds like a lot of storm chasing /
Off-roading
/ camping / lots of photography.
Oh yeah, that's
right?
what I want to talk
we
about.
need content. So we just need to be on top of it.
I'm down.
Yeah, no, seriously, this summer when weather gets nice, you know, I think, you know, like what we talked about is just like whether we're just going on a drive, like
We all could have gone steelhead fishing today. Well,
you didn't hit.
I guess you guys worked.
We were all working, yeah.
I thought it was like
Wow,
Saturday. Sorry.
Yeah, those
Thanks,
days were
Maddie,
nice.
for making us
Yeah.
feel
My
like
bad.
shit.
This guy might have made it.
No,
But-
I'm working too.
I agree with that. I think like, you know, just, you know, I feel like, you know, you and I talk all the time, but Gavin, you know, most this year you've been out of town, and even before then we haven't been hanging out a whole lot. So I think it'd be cool if we could like, yeah, get our rigs, like go drive up in the woods somewhere, go scope out like, you know, storm chase, driving, off-roading, whatever the fuck. Like,
Group chat, content club, you know, it's easy for
Yeah.
us all to hang out, you know, just
Yeah.
communicate. So
camping, like
Well,
I
we
think
should definitely go steelheading in Kelly's boat. That would be a good one.
that would be pretty sick.
yeah, the boat is nice.
Yeah,
It's helpful. I
Yeah.
don't like walking down the river.
doing some camping and
Yeah,
shit.
boating is always better.
What
than
we should
bank
do is
fishing.
what we should actually do is a solid to go to Umpqua, I think, because I would like to catch some fish.
That's funny.
I want to go somewhere to
'Cause
fish where I can
I want to
eat the
rekindle
fish.
that fire.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
thing is like a lot of places around here you can fish at, like you can catch fish, but you don't want to eat it. It's like if I'm gonna go fishing, I want to eat it. You know, like that's the thing.
Well, yeah, you're not
You can
eating
eat,
anything out of the Willamette.
Well, obviously not.
Yeah, read the regs. It's like, you can eat
I tell you
0
what, dude,
ounces
Gavin and I,
of
dude.
perch because
Gavin-
there's so much mercury in your
Yeah.
eyes gonna fucking light on fire
Yeah.
or
there are
whatever.
lots of, well, not around here, but
Dude, he fucking bass this big. Fucking Gavin catches. We both went out there on the boat.
what, Tiger Island or
Well, catch and
Just
release
up
is the
and
thing.
down, like you
Well,
go.
limit.
or Irish
I
Brand?
got a couple sloughs on the Willamette that I take my boat.
Slew.
Yeah, and we would go trolling, or we go in like one of his sloughs or whatever, and yeah, you fucking slam bass. You know, they're fatties. I wouldn't eat them, but
I
they're
hooked to one that was as long as Bodie once. I was
Yeah.
hanging it next to him, and
He was
Bodie
a puppy.
grabbed it out of my hands and ripped it out. I have a video of it. It was awesome. But
Yeah.
was
I
so
would do
stoked. I was,
some
like,
fishing,
losing
but we
my
need to talk
shit.
riding. You know, if we're going outside, we need to get the
was so
coast.
stoked.
We all need to go to the Oregon coast, I think.
no, yeah. I
big.
want to take my FJ out in the sand. I still need to get my dirt bike put back together, but I
We
want
say
to.
that every year at this
Yeah, I was
time.
gonna say like,
It's been like
how
2
many
years.
The
years
CR
has it been
forever
broken?
needs rebuilt upper end.
I know. It's
Dot
just
never
I've been
happens.
either going on vacations or saving money for something else, but this year I'm kind of taking a chill pill, so I'm gonna fix it. But either way,
spending money on that FJ like a boss, so we know your
Because I needed to drive it around.
Your daily is doing well.
it is
so-
doing well.
So he's gonna take it out in the sand. His daily is like, I'm gonna take it out in the sand.
Well, you don't beat on it. You just take care of it. You just drive it nicely. You know,
Yeah,
you
fine.
don't have to thrash
gear,
it.
First gear.
First gear,
First
you know,
gear,
and then
floor high.
when we get it home, you
Lots of
clean the
hammer.
undercarriage, get all that salt and sand out of there, so it doesn't
That never
corrode.
happens, but whatever.
Yeah.
Fucking sand coming out of my truck now. It hasn't been on sand in like a year. Still sandy.
Oh, bro, yeah,
Wash it
no.
100 times.
Yeah. There's already
Oh,
some
sorry.
surface rust on that frame. I'm not gonna make it expand, but yeah, I think that's a good idea. You know, expand on doing some more shit together, and you know, maybe do another one of these again. Maybe in the middle of summer we can do another episode. We get you guys in, and I feel like this was pretty fun. Just kind of shot the shit about whatever, and you know, I think it was a good time. So I look forward to doing it again.
I don't want to hang out with you anymore, Jack. Honestly, don't call me tomorrow. It's lame.
Probably just re-record.
Your music is actually really hilarious.
Did you listen to that song I sent you today?
No, actually, we should just play it now. Just belt it out.
Chief Keef, I don't like.
Chief Keef, I don't like.
I will play it.
Nah, get her out.
Yeah, play it.
Ham
I'll
town.
have to edit it out of the YouTube. But thank you guys for watching the show. We're gonna close off with this. You know, check out the Instagram, check out the reels. You know,
Follow us on social media.
Yeah.
We're all sexy. We
I'll
love
tag
you.
these guys' accounts. Follow them. They both post cool shit. So you know,
Starting tomorrow.
check in.
It's real.